But I want to tell you a story you've probably never heard about how bananas have come to us at an unthinkable cost.
En mi vida hubo un cambio en la salud completamente malo.
It's a story about an extremely toxic pesticide, a chemical that may have deprived tens of thousands of people of the ability to have children in Latin America and across the world.
I had no idea at all that we had any kind of a process that could do such a thing to a human being.
It's a pesticide known as dibromochloropropane, DBCP for short. Developed by multinational corporations Dow and Shell, it was meant to protect crops from a particularly harmful pest. It was effective and cheap, so fruit companies like Dole and Chiquita purchased the pesticide in massive quantities for their banana plantations at home and abroad. But there was something absolutely horrific about DBCP. It could cause permanent sterility in men.
¿Y quiénes aquí son estériles? Por favor, levante la mano.
For the tens of thousands of farm workers who spent years working with it or near it, repeated exposure to DBCP meant they might never be able to have children, ever.
How did that make you feel?
¿Cómo te sentiste?
After realizing its side effects, the US banned DBCP, but American companies continued to buy it and apply it on their banana plantations abroad.
Ahora, el capitalismo cuida al capitalismo. ¿Y nosotros quién nos cuida?
But for the past several decades, these farm workers, many of them now retired, have been fighting back.
Trabajó muchos años y nunca le pagaron a él un 5 de la bananera.
They're known as the afectados, the affected ones in Spanish. And in their old age and ailing bodies, they're filing lawsuits against some of the biggest corporations in the world.
Todavía estamos luchando hasta que Dios lo llame a cuenta.
I'm not going to abandon these workers who have been exploited and harmed by American corporations.
Estoy tratando de hablar con administradores. Nadie quiere hablar conmigo.
Hay gente que son muy cobardes.
Le muestren a los gringos lo que han hecho con nosotros, porque nosotros no somos perros, somos gente.
All right. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Salakia. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahak, Wadash. The blindness of my apostles, my elders, my millstone, they know they rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3 to USA. Shalom. This is Brother Dawadah from GMS Detroit Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahak, Wadash. Today I want to do a video going in on this topic that you see on the screen, and Lord's will this video be edifying. Now, believe it or not, not believe it or not, but that's the saying people say, but brothers ain't got no reason to lie. Earlier today while I was at the supermarket, a random, customer came up to me, and she said, it was Edomite, by the way. She said, believe it or not, no, she said, can I tell you something? Oh, by the way, this is in transit. She said, can I tell you something that's kind of wild? Roughly paraphrasing what she said. I said, yeah, go ahead. She said, can you believe that the banana company Sterilite, they got caught in another scandal? I said, what you mean? She's like, well, they got caught funding, how did she put it? Funding, some type of genocide over there in Latin America. They were funding that. All right, and they got exposed for it earlier this year. She told me that. She's like, isn't it crazy? So now when I buy my bananas, I make sure that it's not from that brand. You heard that that brand, all right, they were known for using that chemical D3CP, I think it's called, all right, or DBCP, They're also known for using that chemical. Now, after she said that, I actually looked it up. Chiquita Banana Company caught, and this is the information that I found. All right, which, like I said, this is in transit, so you can just read this, all right, on your screen and see that information. That's all that I typed in too, all right. And she said that she found the information off of Facebook, and information right now is going out at a very high level. Information is going out at a very high level, all right. Which I think I said that they were caught within the scandal this year. It might have been last year. Yeah, it must have been last year, since 2024. All right, so Salakia's, slip of the tongue. I should have said 2024. These years are just flowing by so fast. But they got caught in this scandal, and I think she said that they had been caught for, a previous scandal before, which she could have been speaking about the whatever it's called, that pesticide they were using, within upon the bananas, which was causing sterility within the people that were using that chemical. And what do you think it's doing to the people that are eating those bananas? What do you think it's doing to them? Bananas are, if you ever go to a supermarket, you'll notice bananas, they go by quickly. All right, they sell out quickly. All right, you put them up on the shelf. Usually they get stocked very early in the morning, and then by the time the day is done, there's hardly any bananas, if any at all, because they go by so quick. And Esau, he weaponizes even our food. That's why you have this organization called the Food and Drug Administration, because guess what? Within Esau society, the food that you eat has become a drug. And now people are heavily addicted to these different foods. And these foods are killing people, and causing all kinds of harm to our bodies. And Esau knows this. He knows this. It wasn't that, that chemical was just so cheap and it was just so effective that it just made all the sense in the world for the company. No. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew how it would affect the farmers, which those farmers, a good large majority of them, well, they said Latin America. Guess what? That's the tribes. That's Jake. They knew that would cause Jake to be sterile. We know that these different, these damn international bankers, they want mass depopulation. They feel like there's too many people upon the planet Earth, and they want to get rid of a vast majority of them. All right? Look at what they wrote on the Georgia Guidestones. All right? Only a devil would think like that. So here it is. It was causing mass sterility within a whole lot of these different Jakes. And that's underreported, because I'm sure it's many more than just that 10,000 that they put up. I believe they said it was 10,000, at least 10,000. Has to be much more. All right? And moreover, if that is what it did to the farmers, what did that do to the people who were eating the bananas? All right? What did it do to them? Moreover, if you look at the price of bananas are extremely cheap. All right? So you can spend, usually bananas, you can get a bundle of bananas maybe for about $1.62. It's dirt cheap. All right? Now, even when you look at the organic bananas are only maybe an extra $1, maybe an extra $1.30. So they're all dirt cheap. But Esau, he knows what he's doing. All right? Believe it or not, I keep saying believe it or not, bananas are actually supposed to have seeds in them. Okay? They're actually supposed to have seeds. I believe they're black. They're supposed to have seeds. All right? How can these bananas that we eat, that's how you know it's all bullshit and it's all poison. How can Esau say that the bananas that we eat are quote unquote organic, right? Because they'll have the organic label on it. But meanwhile, there's no seeds. There's no seeds. Or they're extremely, extremely tiny. But when you look at a real banana and its seed, it's actually quite large. All right? Like the size of about raisin, larger than a raisin. That's what the size of a banana seed should be. Okay? Leave it to Esau to destroy banana seeds. Look at this. How the hell do we go from this? Oh, I'm sorry, Slaki. How do we go from this to this? Look at this. This is what you're supposed to see in your banana. You're supposed to have seeds. All right? Well, I don't think that's it. It's supposed to be this right here. Okay? It's supposed to have seeds in them. But Esau, he done destroyed the planet to the point where even bananas, you're not going to find those seeded bananas. Or you'll find those little miniature, tiny, itty-bitty seeds. That's how this devil gets down. He's destroyed everything. If we were truly organic, how come we don't have the large black seeds that are supposed to be present there? Why don't we have that? That's why the Lord said unto Ezekiel, we read Ezekiel the 4th chapter, that we shall eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. We are indeed doing just that. Our food is defiled. All right? The pesticides within the different foods. Another thing that's important to look up is what Esau did during the mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. Esau demonic self. How the hell do you feed a cow the remainings of another dead organism? Or the remains of another dead cow? And you think that wouldn't have caused disease? Come on now. Esau know what he's doing. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Look at this. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look. But look at what we have. All right? Now, recently there was a video on Instagram where a so-called black woman had purchased what was supposed to be organic watermelon. And she cut it open and she left it overnight, and when she got to it in the morning, there was a thick fluid coming out of the watermelon. A thick pinkish fluid coming out of the watermelon. And she obviously was enraged. And she's like, it's supposed to be organic. Like, what the hell's going on? What are they feeding us? Like, as it is written, ye shall eat your bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. All of our food is defiled. All right? These are the different things that we know about. How much more for what we don't know about? I remember a few years ago, I went to a local supermarket here called Meijer, and I picked up a bottle of organic ketchup. And I picked up a bottle of regular ketchup, GMO, right? I flipped it around. It was made by the exact same brand. It had the exact same ingredients. The only difference was one bottle said organic in front of every single ingredient, whereas the other bottle didn't say organic. One bottle was lighter, the other bottle was darker. So in my head, I'm like, how do I know that I'm actually getting the real thing? We don't know. Another thing that I heard was, this is a few days ago, the FDA standard, I think it's the FDA standard for what can be labeled organic, the food has to be at least 95% organic for it to have the label as being organic. So in my head, I was like, what about the other 5%? You don't see organic with like a star next to it so that you can know it's not 100% organic. Then you have organic, you have gluten-free, you have, what's the other one? No artificial colors, no artificial dyes, minimally processed, cage-free. That's how this devil, he just gotta go. People think that we're just so wicked and evil for asking for the downfall of the so-called white man. We want righteousness. We want to be able to go out and get a real breath of fresh air without breathing in, chemtrails. We want to go out to get something to eat and actually be, fully satisfied without, getting, all types of sicknesses from these different foods that we eat. You go to a sweet shop, them things is loaded up with the bad sugar. The bad sugars. Okay? People eat it and they wonder why they end up with diabetes. Right? Or they wonder why they end up being overweight. This place has to go. This place has to go. This place has to go. And Jake, you're not going to get any justice from the so-called white man. You're over here crying for justice. You're not going to get it from him. He's the one that poisoned you. Do you expect him then to heal you as well? He's the damn devil. All right? He shall eat his, so shall the children of Israel eat their bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So we're eating our bread that's defiled. underneath the rulership of this damn devil. And the justice that they're seeking for will come through Yahweh Shai, not through the so-called white man. How can you ask a so-called white man to punish himself? He's never going to do it. It's like asking a bad child or a child that misbehaved and did something you told him not to do. All right, well, you know what? You take the belt and you spank yourself. They're never going to do that. You know? Or if they do, they're gonna spank themselves very, very lightly so they don't feel any pain. You know? And why is that? Because it takes another to punish someone. All right? It takes someone else to punish you. And it's going to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that'll punish the so-called white man. All right? Beginning with Yahweh Shai, he's going to be the one to punish the so-called white man underneath the order of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right? Can't ask somebody to spank themselves. The Most High is going to do it. All right? Can't ask Edom to punish Edom. He ain't going to do that. All right? He's not a moral man. Okay? That's why the scripture says they shall, pursuant to Isaiah 19, they shall cry to me in the land of their captivities. All right? Or they shall cry unto Yahweh, and he shall send them a great one and a strong, and he shall deliver them. Roughly paraphrasing, that's Yahweh Shai. Okay? He's going to be the one to get us out of this lower state and bring about justice for the nation of Israel. All praises, all honors, and all glories be unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to my apostles and elders, for a millstone, that do we do well. Peace, blessings to thee, elect. Shalom.